Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world. Welcome to the one, the only, the incredible Sooper Friends Podcast, hosted by yours truly, Super VEGA, alongside the ever-growing, the ever-changing, the ever-fascinating El Sumo.
I've gone to the dark side.
We'll get into that in a little bit. And of course, making his return, CHET. CHET?
CHET?
CHET!
I am not mentally returned from vacation.
How was your vacation, CHET? Tell the world a little bit about your vacation.
A little bit.
So people can afford vacations on the
right?
podcast.
And my significant other went to went to a few places.
Copyright.
Oh, we didn't break into song in the beginning. That's where we dropped the ball.
I just kind of
forgot it.
Went to Hampton Beach for a couple of days. Then
Wow.
You guys went to the Hamptons. Listen to this guy going
That's
to the Hamptons.
fancy, man.
Goddamn 47.
Yo!
I also went to we went to Salem in Massachusetts as opposed to Salem in New Hampshire. I went to
That's where the
Salem.
witch hunts happened, right?
Yeah, I can safely say that the Salem Witch Museum is one of the lousiest museums I've ever been to.
Oh, really?
Come at me.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yes, we welcome with open arms the return of the come at me, bro.
Before we move on,
It wasn't a museum. Apparently there's this whole thing going on with Salem museums, in air quotes. All the museums are just like wax figure museums with narration going over them.
like Madame Tussauds just with voiceover?
Yeah, it's like they demonstrated the series of witch trials that happened that year.
Without artifacts and shit?
And they're just wax figures with a narrator and lights, and then someone said, oh, there's a pirate museum, but I didn't go there because I read a review and it's the same thing. Bunch of wax figures with the narration going over, and the torture museum, whatever it's called. Same thing with that. I learned more actual academic info going to the art museum, that's also there, the Peabody Essex Museum,
Wow.
than going to these other museums.
Damn, that's a tough one. So what you're saying in the short form is your girlfriend does not like hot wax.
Wheel!
She loved it.
Zing! So
Okay.
you do not enjoy hot wax. You are on
I
the
do not
variety.
enjoy
He does
hot
not
wax.
enjoy
He does the pouring.
He does the pouring.
Before we move on, you brought up goddamn 47.
The
What?
ultimate pouring.
It is. Have you ever heard of World Star Hip Hop?
I believe so.
Okay. They have a series called Questions.
World Star.
They have a series called Questions where they go onto the street and ask people like common knowledge, kind of basic knowledge, history, and spelling, and all this episode.
I do gotta say though, like in the beginning of the series, it was a lot more basic knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But as the series progressed, it did get to a point where it was like, all right, this isn't exactly basic knowledge anymore.
One of the first questions
Some of this stuff
was,
is a little bit out there.
what weighs more, a pound of cotton or a pound of stone? And it tripped up many people. The new season, the first episode of the new season just came out. And oh my god, have you seen it?
I have not yet, but
Okay,
I am gonna watch
we
it.
will watch
We
it.
will collectively
Yes.
watch this new season because it's such a great series. And so the goddamn 47, Chet, to fill you in, comes from I believe the first season, or was it the second season?
I think it was the second season. No, it was the first.
It was one of these
one of the-
seasons.
yeah.
So the host goes up to these two kind ladies who happen to be of the darker skin tone culture, and he asks, how many stars are on the American flag?
No, what's even worse is the question prior to that, how many states are in the U.S.?
Yes.
Then,
they got
and
both
then they said like
questions wrong.
52, because we just added Puerto Rico.
They said they got both
like-
questions wrong. The first one, understandably, okay, so the first question, if you ask somebody how many states there are, some people might get confused, although you should know how many states there are in your home country. Now, when you get the second question, okay, and the second question directly follows the first question by saying, how many stars are on the American flag? First of all, you just got the answer to this question in the last question. So they already told you how many stars there are. You should get this right. Secondly, you should know that the stars represent the amount of states we have. So God damn it, again, it just gave you all the answers. This should be a no-brainer. Where I was mind blown is that one of the contestants starts to do math to figure out how many stars there are in the flag. Here we go. Okay? Here we go. She says, well, there were 13 colonies. There are 50 states. Pause.
No, it doesn't even go 50 states. It goes, well, it's 13 colonies, so 13 minus 50.
Oh, yeah,
13 minus
13
50.
minus 50. Wait. Before we go on to her answer, okay, before we even get there, how in the fuck did she know there were 13 colonies when she just didn't know how many states we have? Where did this knowledge come from?
At least you knew her history.
Yeah,
like
her historical knowledge is on point. Her current events knowledge needs help.
That is, I think we have a classic case of really overthinking it.
No,
I am overthinking this, but then she goes in depth and goes, so 13 colonies, 13 minus 50, 13 minus 50. Goddamn 47.
goddamn 47. And I'm just like, oh my god.
You know wheels start turning, and they turned in the wrong direction.
Oh dear.
Another question would have been, it's 23 minutes before 7. What time is it? Or it's 23 minutes to 7. What time is it? And people are like, 7:23? 5:30? What? It's like, what?
This reminds me of one of those videos I saw on Car Throttle, I think it was. And guy with his girlfriend were in the car, and he asked her, if we're traveling 80 miles per hour,
Yes!
how long will it take to travel 80 miles?
That's one of the questions on this series, though. It was one of the questions, which is good. So that
it might have been
back.
It was if we're traveling 50 miles an hour, how long would it take to travel 100 miles?
Right.
That's what it was, because I just watched the whole thing
I saw
over
it
again.
from where it's 80, but yeah.
No, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Or you got you got 13 kittens, and all but 8 die. How many do you have left? I don't know, 5?
Oh,
You
5?
got 13 minus
6, 25, like, all sorts of numbers. My favorite, most recently though, is the British guy who's asking his girlfriend. The question is: there are 30 cows, 28 chickens. How many chickens? How many did it? How many did it? And the girls are just like,
I don't get it. How many did
what? How many didn't what?
That's no wordplay.
Yeah,
there are 30 cows and 28 chickens.
How many did it?
And 28 chickens. You viewers or listeners.
How many didn't?
How many didn't? It was amazing. Oh, it was amazing. I love those. We need to watch it. We'll watch it, and then next week we'll talk about it.
Such good time. So yeah, you are listening to the Sooper Friends Podcast. In case you think you ended up on the wrong channel, no, you are in the right place. We just have a terrible habit of starting every episode with nothing related to our genre of discussion.
But that's why you love us.
But that's what you love, though.
That's what you love.
At least you don't, unless you have me around to wrangle you in and be like, video games. Come on.
You can imagine how poorly this went last week.
Oh my god.
Well, hold on. I did hear you talked about Metal Gear a lot.
Oh my god, we talked about Metal Gear way too much.
Yeah, they talked about Metal Gear.
I talked about Metal Gear so much that I made a promise to not talk about Metal Gear this episode. So my Metal Gear conversation this episode is going to be like, I pre-ordered the collector's edition, super excited about it. I've been playing Metal Gear since I told you guys I was going to be playing Metal Gear, and I haven't stopped. And now I will be playing Metal Gear 5 starting as soon as we are done with this episode. And that is all I'm talking about Metal Gear for today. So don't even try to pull it out of me, because it's not happening.
Does mentioning you're not going to talk about Metal Gear count
does not
as
count as talking about Metal Gear.
Have you started playing Metal Gear 5?
I have not.
He just said he wasn't.
I just finished 4.
Is that invite still standing?
To start watching Metal Gear 5 or Metal Gear
Metal Gear 5.
Oh yeah, you can come over and hang out. We can play some Metal Gear. I'm playing Metal Gear tonight until I wake up with the controller in my hand. and the screen says Snake died because I stood in the same place.
Well, I'll
for
keep
8
it
hours.
spoiler free. I'll keep it spoiler free for some reactions, but to start, it's got great reviews. It
Yes,
really did.
perfect.
It
Totally.
looks pretty interesting. I've
Perfect
been
10
watching
on
a bunch
IGN.
of Twitch streams about it.
Perfect 10 on IGN.
I don't have that feeling for it yet, but I don't think it's bad either. I don't have a decision to make yet, because this new Metal Gear is very reminiscent of Peace Walker, which was kind of the odd one of the series, and this one is too. This is not like the other Metal Gear games. This is very different. So, I can't decide yet how much I like it, because this whole time I'm playing it, I don't feel like I'm playing Metal Gear. I just feel like I'm playing a really good game that features Metal Gear characters.
Ah.
I guess it's kind of
I think eventually-
the same way Revengeance is a really good game with Metal Gear characters.
Right, so Revengeance has, like...
It doesn't have to be the same game, of course. It's very different doing this whole open world thing. Just Hideo Kojima's restraint on cutscene overload is very apparent in this too. But like you still get it to go. And I remember when he was making the whole PT Silent Hills thing. Nothing has me more confident than that he can successfully make a horror game than the first hour and a half of Metal Gear 5: The Phantom Pain. That whole... I guess it's the tutorial, with a lot of crawling around the floor slowly. Really well-crafted, scary scenes, and a lot of what the heck is going on.
Nice.
It kind of reminded me of a unique fear genre that kind of fell out of the way. And, most scary games you play are your helpless scary games, or you're not that effective. Like, what was the last one you played, if you can remember?
You have to run away, is
Yeah.
what you're saying. Yeah.
A lot of games are like that, but Metal Gear, and actually Metal Gear's always done this, because a lot of the games have their scary moments. A lot of the character is meant to be a fearsome character, or some kind of supernatural horror element that catches you off guard.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of that piled into the beginning. It reminded me most of the game Fear. Remember First Encounter Assault Recon?
Oh, Fear
Yep.
was so good.
Fear was good.
Oh, Fear
the
was so
expansions were
good.
good. Fear 2 was good. Fear 3 was...
It
was a great shooter, but it was not in any way scary, except for the last level. That was a little bit scary.
Singularity was really good too. If anybody's had the chance to play Singularity for first person
That was scary?
games, yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
It was.
I thought
It was
time
positioned
travel.
as like a small fear factor to it. So it was like
Interesting.
it was very reminiscent of Fear in the gameplay aspects of it. But it was interesting. It was interesting.
Getting a Phantom Pain, a lot of the aspects of Fear. And what I liked about Fear is there are supernatural elements in it to make you feel scared, but you don't feel helpless.
Yeah.
You're like, so say you're being chased by a ghost and you have to run away. That sucks and it's scary, but it's what people go for now. Now say you're being chased by a ghost, but you have an assault rifle. Now the assault
fight
rifle
back.
can't actually do anything to the ghost except maybe make it stop for a little bit. Heck, it'll maybe make it more angry. But would you still feel more safe having the gun
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
More secure.
that slightly
Oh, yeah.
slows down and agitates the ghost than just be running away? Because I'd be happy with the gun and the slow-mo. There's
Yep.
no slow-mo in Phantom Pain, but
I gotta say,
I'm
though,
just
Alas.
saying they need to bring back Fear. Bringing a MMO was not a good idea.
oh god, no.
Well, it was an online multiplayer shooter, not an MMO. Fear Online.
I gotta say, though,
Don't get me
I
started.
forgot that existed.
I was watching a stream of Metal Gear Solid 5, and there's this mission where you get, like, weather balloons or something.
You get it for the whole game.
Okay. You can attach them to goats
Yep.
and launch them into the stratosphere.
You can
That was
attach them-
one of the most
You
hilarious
attach
shits
it
I've
to
ever
anything
seen.
and it goes to Mother Base. You do that in Peace Walker.
Okay, because I came in at that scene, and the
And
streamer...
you were like, what in the
First
fuck is
of all-
going on?
First of all, I'm watching him, and the stream is silent, and I hear almost like a wheezing, but I realize after a few seconds it's the streamer like that laugh where you can't breathe anymore, like the like that, and
My chest
the
hurts.
chat breaks with ha 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 emotes, and I realize what's going on, and I die. It just broke me for the rest of the
Yep.
night, and I watched him for hours.
That is so in Peace Walker. That's how you recruit recruit additional people into your mother base.
I
That's
know
how
that.
you do it now in Phantom Pain as well.
did
You
not
have
know
to
that.
recruit people by
Is it still called the
touching them on
Voltron system?
the Fulton extraction system.
not Voltron. The
Voltron.
Voltron.
He's gonna have so much goat milk. It's not even funny.
Not even funny.
So,
So
you-
much goat milk.
Ain't
occasionally-
nobody going hungry on this one.
Right? Goat cheese, goat milk.
Minor gripes. You have to do mission. You have to launch missions from the helicopter, or like if you're in the wrong place and you want to launch a mission, it's like no, get in the helicopter. Kind of a pain, but it's such a minor grievance. It's like get in the helicopter to start the mission. Why can't I just start the mission and get in the helicopter? Go get in the helicopter.
Goddamn helicopter.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper. No. Get down.
All right, so
They did bring in the whole staff management thing from Peace Walker. There is a little bit of funny bits added in, and it's part of the second episode tutorial. And that's if you want to boost the morale for your team. Here's how you boost the morale for your team. You
Hire
return to
strippers.
Mother Base, and you beat them up.
What?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. You punch them. You can either punch them or do a tackle, and they'll either go "Thanks, boss," or you'll knock them out. And if you just hang out, they'll wake up in about 2 or 3 minutes and be like, "Ah, thanks for that, boss."
Wait, is your staff a bunch of masochists? What?
yes,
The look on Vegas'
You
face
only-
right now.
you only beat up the ones you love.
Oh my god. Oh,
Please don't live that way, people. Please do not.
McGird.
That is a joke. Do not take that serious and live that lifestyle. It is very bad. We do not condone that in any way, shape, or form.
Oh,
There's another game that came out this week that's been a little overshadowed by the better game. Mad Max came out.
The reviews.
That looks fun.
I haven't read any reviews for it.
I
It
bought
does
the
look
game.
interesting.
I haven't opened it yet.
Chet did buy the game, but Metal Gear is that much better. That he bought the game so he could sit the case of Metal Gear Solid on top of it and not get the Metal Gear case dirty.
Well, I got it at a good price, and I haven't opened yet, so I have 15 days to return it. Maybe if I finish Metal Gear in 15 days, I'll have another game that was 33% off.
Not bad, not bad. That is how you buy crap games.
I was watching.
I was really
watching
excited
Twitch
for
streams
Mad
about
Max
it.
personally. I was like, it's one of those games where I was like, it's pretty obvious. We're now 9 episodes in. You guys should know by now. I'm not a big fan of open world games, but Mad Max looks like the type of game where I would have a good time. Like I would enjoy myself. I would explore the world. I would explore the story because it looks interesting. Then again, the movie looked interesting, and I didn't go watch that shit.
Well, you're missing out on the movie, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I might watch Mad Max. What is
Have
it?
you seen
Fury
the
Road,
other-
right? That's
have you seen the
movie?
other Mad
Or is that the
Maxes?
game? No.
Okay. There's something you should go in expecting when you see any Mad Max film that I didn't understand before I got in. Mad Max is not really the star of any of the movies, really. He's just kind of there. He says like maybe 12 lines. It's the same for The Road Warrior, Beyond Thunderdome. He just does not talk a lot. It's always about what's happening around him. He's really not the hero. He's just he's the token guy.
He's just the titular character, just not.
So he's like
the main character.
he's like every character you play as in the entire history of Battlefield.
He's like he's
just
like a silent protagonist
who's
in one of your
supposed
games.
to be a boss and giving commands, but people are just commanding you to do shit. That never made sense to me.
Which game?
Battlefield 4 is my biggest pet peeve. Like,
Oh,
you
yes.
play through the whole game, and everybody's talking to you as if you're the guy in charge. Even at multiple points, one of your partners or one of your underlings gets mad at you and says, "That's crazy that they chose you to lead the squad instead of me," and he gets pissed off and storms off. Meanwhile, while you're on missions, everybody is telling you what to do. Hey, go to that ladder. Hey, grab the gun. Hey, we gotta do this. You're like,
So you're the
fuck,
new-
I'm the boss. What do you mean we gotta? If I want to go swimming, I'm gonna go swimming. Fuck you guys. You go deal with the tank,
So you're the new Ramirez. Ramirez, do everything.
Oh god.
which is ridiculous. So that's my pet peeve. So far the reviews for Mad Max have not been stellar, but it's hard though because and this affects I think every medium, every way we enjoy media. When something really, really good, like universally, everybody decided Metal Gear is an incredible game that just launched. When you launch alongside something like that, even if your game is good, it still doesn't look good.
Even if your game is amazing, it still doesn't look good. Right?
Which
I'm
is
not
why
saying
we
Mad
get
Max is amazing, but
right. Which is why we get so many delayed games during the holiday season because they start
no
looking
one
at the
wants to
holiday
compete with Call of
schedule and
Duty.
they're like,
It's
well,
a dumb decision.
I could release this really awesome game right now, and watch it die next to Call of Duty, or I could piss off a couple hundred people and move it back to January,
or if
February.
you can, move it forward. Like
Borderlands, move it forward to
Borderlands
summertime.
moved it forward to August.
Really,
Yeah.
just release it any week that's not the week of Call of Duty, and it'll be all right.
Well, no,
I'd say
the
not
holiday
even in the
season,
same month.
Financially, holiday season is a terrible idea unless you already have an established franchise.
Yeah.
Because then Christmas time comes around, nobody's buying your new adventure game to try out. They're buying the stuff that
the
they're going to
beginning of the
play.
year is the good.
You
want
to do it right before holiday season or after.
People are hungry for something new.
I think right before is the best. Right at the end of summer, like when you need that one game to get you to the holidays.
See, I think the summer drought is also the summertime is also a bad time to launch stuff.
I'm saying the end of summer, right before holiday season.
I think it's a bad time.
Not in the beginning.
No, the end of the summer is a terrible time to launch. My thought on that is, yes, you could launch a really awesome game at the end of the summer. The problem is, most of your demographic falls into the bracket of college students who can't afford to buy 1 million games a year, or people who choose not to buy 1 million games a year. So they will be in the summertime lull where they're like, I could spend some money on this really awesome looking game, or, and you know you do this all the time yourself, I could buy this really awesome game when it goes on sale in the holidays.
Yeah. We've all done it.
I'm a used buyer.
You know what I mean? So even then, you could buy this game used at almost the same price as it brand new, or you could wait till it's like 50% cheaper.
For me, it depends
in the
on the
holidays.
game. Because I only buy games I'm going to like.
Yeah.
Like that.
How do you know
But you still wait till they're on sale.
I've played them. I've played the previous. So I think I'm going to like because I've played the previous iterations and I love them.
Okay.
So for me, like, I started at Call of Duty, World at War, moved all the way up, and that whole thing until Black Ops 2, and then after that it was just trash. Borderlands 1, I bought it used, late to the party, I fucking fell in love with it. Then I bought Borderlands 2, then I bought pre-sequel, I pre-ordered, paid, completely, Dragon Age, games I know I'm going to get a lot of time out of because I've enjoyed the previous iteration.
Oh yeah.
Dragon Age, Elder Scrolls.
Exactly. So you're a franchise shopper in that sense. So when they
because
launch,
I am forced to limit my games.
yeah, exactly. And
yeah.
you describe a lot of us, a lot of gamers, and like I said, if you launch a game that has no branding, no attachment, nothing, it just looks amazing at the end of the summer or right before the holiday season when everything that I already love is coming out in a couple weeks afterwards, financially, it's not a good decision for me to buy your game. Like, I can just wait another week or two.
So you say release like January then?
Like, I don't even know what came out. Like, Until Dawn, for example. Until Dawn came out last week. I knew Metal Gear was coming out this week. I didn't buy Until Dawn because I didn't have time, but I also didn't make the time to buy it. Like, I didn't care enough to go out and say, I'm going to go buy Until Dawn, as much as I want to play it, because I know I'm going to buy Metal Gear next week. So it doesn't even matter. I know that the weekend before Metal Gear, I'm going to spend all of it playing every Metal Gear game that I already own. So why am I going to buy a game that came out Tuesday from a franchise I don't recognize to play it for 2 days because a franchise I love is coming out right next week?
I think that's why I'm loving Twitch. I love Twitch so much is because now you can watch someone play the game live, unedited. So you see everything. Like, you can watch the first 2 hours of the game, or hour of the game, and kind of get someone's live perspective. You watch it how it plays, and you realize, okay, I'm probably gonna like this game. It gives you not only the review. I don't really like reviews, personally.
Yeah,
I'd rather like
reviews.
watch. That's why I love Twitch. I'd rather watch like a live. Or YouTube where it was like the live walkthrough of like the first part of a walkthrough of a game.
It's unbiased and it gives you a good actual picture of gameplay.
I prefer the Twitch more because it's you can't edit it over the YouTube first part walkthrough where you can cut some parts out, you can cut a bug out, a glitch out or something. While you're watching Twitch, if you get 4 bugs in a row, you're gonna watch all 4 bug issues.
Yep.
So you know that the game is buggy as hell.
The Xbox One dashboard handles this pretty well. Hashtag Xbox One has more colors. I'm back, everyone. No, I like how they do this because when you look at a digital copy of a game on Xbox, the very first thing it shows you is, here's the thing, here's a few screenshots. The next thing is people streaming it right now. That's what shows you.
Also,
when you
they
look at
added
a game
people
page.
streaming it now.
Yes.
Okay.
Via Twitch TV, it's like, here's the game,
Nice.
here's the DLC, here's a picture, here's people streaming it right now. You can watch right now. Do you want to see what this game looks like? Here it is.
Yeah.
In fact, you can you don't even have to launch Twitch TV. If you hover over it, it'll
plays.
just play for about 30 seconds before cutting off.
I like that. That's pretty
So
cool.
you can like just hover over and say, okay, let's see what
That's
this
a nice
guy's
thing
doing.
they added to
Yeah,
that.
the PS4 has the
Because it
what's
takes a while to
new.
actually launch and log in.
Yeah, the PS4 section has a section called What's New. So it shows you what everybody you know is playing, and then it also shows you like live streams of random games that just came out, which is pretty cool. But it doesn't, at least to my knowledge, I don't think it allows you to just hover on the tile.
Yeah,
to
you can
play.
actually hover on someone's Twitch channel and watch 30 seconds of it. Here's the thing, you can actually go off and go back on, and then it'll
just catch
continue
up.
watching
Oh, nice.
another.
That's pretty
giving you
awesome.
another.
So alongside Xbox news, I've got a very, very exciting piece of, well, actually I lied. It's a very boring piece of Xbox news. But I find it very exciting from my business perspective because it just goes, what in the fuck were they thinking? Like, that's what crosses my mind. So, the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, is coming down hard on machinima for paying people to advertise Xbox without saying that they were advertising
That it was an
Xbox.
advertisement, yeah.
And I think that is the epitome of dirty marketing tactics. Like, it gets no dirtier than that because you're literally tricking consumers, people who rely on these videos or people who count on these videos to give them the best and most knowledgeable information, and tricking them into thinking that the people who are playing actually are enjoying what they're doing or care enough.
And I don't blame the YouTubers as much. They share part of the blame, of course, but it's the MCNs, the multi-channel networks, who didn't make it known. And so some YouTubers were blindsided by this too.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know that they thought it was like a machinima thing, not Microsoft paying machinima to advertise
Exactly.
Xbox. They thought it was just machinima.
But
Like,
even then,
push
I
this, you know?
still blame the YouTubers because I don't think it's right to pretend you're not to pretend you're enjoying something when you're not. Now, granted, that's where the line gets drawn.
If
we
they were
don't know,
pretending.
we don't know which of these YouTubers was pretending to enjoy it and which ones were not. You know, which ones were genuinely excited about the Xbox and which ones were not. But then it calls into question everyone. Like, it calls into question us. You know, like, I talk about Metal Gear so much. Am I getting endorsed by, Konami to talk about Metal Gear? For the record, I'm not. I fucking shit on Konami all day.
Look,
And because Konami doesn't know
It
how
would
to
take
PR.
a lot of work for Konami to get me to endorse anything.
VEGA has
Yeah, they'd have to
Yo.
pick up a phone. They'd have to know a single thing about PR.
Yeah.
VEGA has an issue. It is an addiction to Metal Gear.
Yes.
An addiction, not an addiction, an addiction.
I would have to go to rehab for this,
Yes,
to be honest.
we have tried to pull interventions. They have failed. Speaking of PS4, I'm going over to the dark side.
Yes, I know. I am excited to announce that L has joined the dark side.
Dun, dun,
Only because,
Dun, dun, dun.
okay, only because I found a Batman Arkham Knight bundle for $200.
That's not a bad deal.
That's really good.
It's a valid reason.
Brand new. The Batman is still sealed in the plastic.
That is nice.
Wait, was this the silver one or just?
No, it's just a regular black
all
one.
right, but still good.
They
Very good.
you know those circular stickers that they have to seal the box? It still had glue. That's how you know the thing was barely used.
Was it stolen?
No,
Right?
no. I found an Xbox One.
Mr. L, we heard your show and realized that we need to check the serial number on your
I
console.
found. I am on the hunt for an Xbox One with a similar deal, and I have found a Call of Duty edition 1 terabyte Xbox One for $250 that I'm hopefully about to buy. So
It's not a bad
That's a
deal.
good deal too.
I have moved to the dark side, but I will be coming back to the light and the more colors.
And the more colors.
I forgot which one.
On the topic of 1 terabyte Xboxes, the Xbox Elite will be launching this year.
For $500.
$499 gets you an Xbox One with a terabyte
Yep.
Fusion drive, which is pretty exciting. How does that make you guys feel? Well, neither of you purchased the Xbox with the Kinect for $500, but for those people who did purchase that, how does that make you feel? Like, I feel like I would, like, if I would have done that, I would have felt shafted.
I still use my Kinect, but No, it's very much a limited feature at this point.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. I remember Microsoft saying we're not going to abandon the Kinect ever, and then
that was that metric.
And then
this is Phil Spencer Xbox.
Microsoft made a mistake. They made a mistake by having only the Kinect version. They made a huge mistake with that. At the same time,
Xbox One, and I'll admit, has just been a series of backpedals to please everyone.
A series of
we're not going to do backwards compatibility. Never mind, we are. Well, we're not going to do an Xbox free hit. Never mind, we are. Well, we're not going to go, focus on digital. Never mind, we are.
Yeah.
They kind of leapfrogged that one. We're focusing on digital. No, we're not.
I missed the always on because I could have streamed my library to someone else's Xbox One.
I feel like it's on its way. They're just doing it subtly because now that you can stream to PC, it's only a matter of time before you can stream to another Xbox.
Just like if I went over to your house, my collection of physical discs that I installed to my Xbox, I could stream to your Xbox One.
Now,
I missed that. I missed the fact that I can't have that feature.
Here's my thought on that, right? So I totally agree with you. I love the idea. It's an incredible concept, right? But here's my deep thinking flaw. If we're friends, there's a strong chance, like if we're friends to the point where you come over to my house, there is a really strong chance that we already share 80% of the same video game library, right?
For those close friends, yes.
Right, with the exception of a guy like me who buys pretty much everything.
Yeah.
So I would be like the outlier, which you guys would all benefit from that. Where I can just go to your house and be like, oh, you wanted to try whatever random shit game I have?
Steal from your library.
Let's do it.
Actually, no, I'm just going to be playing Destiny the whole time.
Yeah, so, you can...
Fiend.
You have...
I have until the 15th to catch up.
Yeah, you have until the 15th because you're focused on Destiny. But if you decide, I want to take a break from Destiny, you can just call me up and I'll be like, yo... I've got anything that came out over the past 2 years. What do you want to play?
I see your point on that one, but for friends who we're close, we almost share no games. That is a situation where that would be awesome,
right?
Because I could go over to your house, and I love open world games, and I can play an open world game with you and kind of show you why I love it, as opposed to me just saying it. I can show you why I love it while you're playing it.
Right.
And then it can open up your eyes to something that you never experienced before. And you can open up my eyes because you like the more kind of single story-driven games. And I play them, but at the same time, I'm like back and forth between them.
Well, at least we sort of got that with the Windows 10 integration. I know it's not the same as going to someone else's Xbox, but at this point, I think most people who have Windows 8 got Windows 10. They recognize, even with some of the very few bugs that came with it, it's like mountains better.
Yeah. It was free.
No,
so
my
it was
sister
one
went
of
from
those
Windows 8
where you just kind of feel like you have to update. Especially for people who...
Well, and I recommend it.
It's different from like Windows 7 to Windows 10, because it's like, you can upgrade and it will improve, but it's like, you're not really missing too much. You're missing like the new cool functions. Well, Windows 8 and Windows 10, it's like, you better upgrade. Just upgrade.
Like, I have a desktop computer. 7's fine, and don't really need to fix that. For my 8 tab, I was like, get this off immediately.
If I had a quote-unquote legit copy of Windows 7 on my machine, because if the hard drive didn't explode, I would probably have Windows 10 right now on my main machine.
Windows 7?
Windows 10.
Oh. You upgrade to Windows 10 even if your copy's not legit?
No.
I thought that was initially part of the plan.
You will get like a 30-day free trial, and then it'll say this copy of Windows isn't genuine.
Oh, wow.
According to the interwebs.
I thought initially that Microsoft had said that you could just go
Initially they did say, but apparently legal or some asshole in Microsoft said, no, we're not doing that. Back up.
Okay. So. That's interesting. That's good to know. That's very good to know. So in other video game news, kind of backtracking to the conversation we were having about being cheap with games, so Deadpool was just announced for PS4 and Xbox One.
Wait,
so PS3 and Xbox 360 one getting remastered for PS4 and Xbox One. Available November 17th or something.
What?
Yep.
Okay, I enjoyed that game quite a bit.
I didn't get to play it because I was like, I'm not buying any more PS3 games because I'm getting my PS4.
I got it on
Fuck
PC.
the bullshit. So,
But
PC Mustard Grease.
oh yeah, but like okay, I really like Deadpool. In fact, not forget that line of thought. I really like Deadpool, but that game doesn't need a remaster. It doesn't.
well, see, for people
Well,
like
you just want
me,
more money.
I benefit from it because I didn't play it and I really wanted to,
And it's
and
more
now
money
I
for
can.
The game didn't look that great to begin with. It looks like an older era last gen game.
Okay.
And
Hopefully
it was done by a
hopefully
small.
they spruced that shit.
It was
Good.
done by a small studio, which they did a good job for
No,
a
I
small
think it was
studio.
High Moon.
Yeah, done by a small studio.
I don't know, man. They did all the Transformers games that everybody loves.
Yeah, it's the same
pretty
thing.
big.
Transformers games don't look that great either.
That's true.
They're just
There's a lot of stuff
they're
going on.
okay.
They're just very fun.
They're not
They're just very
bad.
fun.
They're just not super. Just if they are bringing it to Xbox One, are they going to beef it up? Or are they just going to upscale it? Because
Nah,
you know
they're
what
gonna
happened
prototype
with
it. They're literally just gonna recode it and put it on.
yeah, that was shitty. Activision, that was shitty.
It's Activision. What do you expect?
For what we're saying is, yeah, they re-released a prototype Biohazard bundle for Xbox One and PS4, and all they did was just repackage it and upscale it. They didn't actually fix anything. And I'm pretty sure there were bugs they didn't even fix.
Yep. Especially on
and-
Xbox One suffered the most for it.
And
There
it
was a lot
runs
of bugs.
worse.
It runs worse.
It runs worse. 24 frames per second on Xbox One.
Yeah.
God.
It originally ran on... What did it originally
30.
run on? It was 30 on the originals. So, yeah. Runs
Pretty
slightly
painful.
worse.
So that's my concern on that side of it. So that's why that's going to be one of those games where I'm like, well, you know, it's probably going to be on sale right after Christmas. I'll wait and buy it for like $20 because it's releasing for $50.
I was going to repurchase it for like PS3 because I have it on PC and I wanted to just have a hard copy.
That's
but
the other thing I've been
That's
thinking
better.
about.
I'll just wait.
Like I connected up my PS3 during my binge of the game that should not be named.
Oh, we've already talked plenty of Metal Gear. You can just...
So during my binge, I reconnected my PS3 and started playing, all the games. Started with Metal Gear 1, like I said, classic version, which does play on PS3, even though it's a PS1 game. And then, like I started playing the HD collection that I have for MGS 2 and 3 and Peace Walker. And then I was like, you know what? It's not that bad to play on my PS3. Like I don't miss, like it's not a bad thing. So maybe I can just be cheap and go back and like buy the PS3 versions of games that I didn't play now that they're really, really cheap instead of buying the PS4 versions. So
Well, after I got my PS3, I bought a whole bunch of games that I never got to play last generation and still haven't played now. I still have all the Killzones and Infamouses.
Skip one.
well, I skipped all of them.
Skip one.
Skip all of
Skip
Skip
Killzone
Infamous one or
Killzone
Killzone?
1?
Killzone
No.
The control scheme in Killzone 1
It
was
was
so
awful.
bad!
The control scheme was bad.
Oh my god!
They were
Shouldn't
still
I-
figuring out first-person shooters. That's why.
Shouldn't I play Killzone 1 first so that the bad one is out of the way forever?
Yes.
Just
It's sort of
skip
like
it.
And
It's sort of like
story-wise,
that problem where you play a new game and you're like, oh, that was good, let me go back and play the old one.
You don't
this
do
one's
that.
unplayable.
You don't do that.
That's like the Just Cause 2
Just
versus
skip
Just
it.
Cause 1 thing. You play Just Cause 2, just don't even think about
Yeah.
playing the old one.
Just skip Killzone 1, man.
Killzone
Sorry.
1.
Maybe.
Killzone
Watch
1.
the cutscenes and skip Killzone 1.
I'll eventually
Killzone 1
come
has
to playing.
the best story of the three.
I understand that.
So you
but
can't
the
skip
controls were so bad, I stopped halfway through that game.
They were bad if you were used to like Halo controls,
No, man.
but they weren't awful.
Wait,
They were
are you
bad.
telling me this is legacy controls?
Legacy controls, drastic legacy.
Forward, backward, turn left,
Yup.
turn right? Oh god, I'm skipping
No.
Killzone 1.
Legacy
Yes,
controls.
just watch the cutscenes. Watch someone play the game so you can get the story. Just, God, I couldn't finish, I couldn't stomach the controls of that game.
Wow.
And this was in a time where I went a year without an Xbox 360 because mine died and I didn't have any money to buy a new one. So I went over to a friend's house who had a PS3 and played it. This is why I'm saying, like, this was not just because I was used to Halo.
No, you're thinking about Killzone 2 then.
No, I'm talking about
Because
Killzone.
Killzone 1 was PS2.
That makes it even worse because I had a PS2.
Oh, okay.
It was so bad, I have it confused.
So, I don't know.
That's how bad it
Killzone,
is.
so the control scheme wasn't great, but the story was
Killzone 1's control scheme was
much.
so bad, man. I didn't even own an Xbox at the time. I only had a PS2.
The story makes it so much better. I don't care what anybody says.
I know, but I
then again,
couldn't-
that was
I-
the only one that had a really good story.
I
The rest of
couldn't
them kinda-
enjoy
Yeah,
the story.
The rest of
I
them.
don't think it's
The rest of
play
them.
for the plot.
The story kind of goes down.
The rest of them, the story kind of like loses its zest because the first one was so. It was such a well ingrained story that like it was basically World War II. Like that's what
Yeah.
Killzone was. World War II. and they just did it like in a futuristic way. So instead of being, you know, America versus Russia, it was, you know, the ISA, which was Earth, versus the Helgas, which is the people we shunned off, and they were doing economically terrible because we sent them off to explore life on other planets, and they created they colonized on a different planet, and then so on and so on. They started, you know, yada yada, and ultimately it's just a story of they felt oppressed and were like, fuck this, we're taking back what's ours, and they attacked, and it gets deeper
I've always heard that about the story. It's like the bad guys
aren't bad guys.
Really,
aren't really bad guys.
Yeah, you feel bad for them because you understand where they're coming from. You know, like we sent them off to go make our lives better, and when that failed for them, we didn't support. And that's how that story goes. Then what else do we got going on?
I actually remembered a piece of news. Dragon Age Inquisition recently announced a new DLC almost a couple of weeks after they released their most recent one, and I think it's a good thing they did because reception hasn't been that great. First one they did was Jaws of Hakon. It was a good DLC because it essentially added an entire new area. Each area gives you a suite of quests to complete, including a main quest, things you have to do to help you on the main quest, and then complete side quests. And that DLC was an entire set of that. It was nice. Then they go and do the second one, The Descent, which I paid a whole $15 for, and it was not worth $15 because expecting that, this one was, okay, so just go into these mines for a bit and kill the thing. It was terrible. It took me maybe 3 hours to complete.
Oh, damn.
And there's no really good side quest. It's just a corridor you go down. It's the deep roads for anyone who's familiar with Dragon Age lore.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to discover something amazing, but the way they end it doesn't feel as interesting as what it could have been. Because I feel like they were graphically limited and had to pull something else to make me like, haha, that's the twist.
What they
and
twist?
You're playing it and going, oh, I wanted the other thing to happen.
Oh, yeah. I haven't finished it because the Xbox 360 version was so buggy. It would freeze on me every third loading screen. And I'd have to restart my system. I gave up. I was like level 15 and I was like, I can't do this.
Hey, the nice thing is you can get it for PS4 now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I can't because I have to finish Destiny.
It felt pretty half-assed. They tried to add new lore that didn't really work for the series, left more questions than answers. Your team maybe said like 2 lines in the whole thing. I'm pretty sure it was just recycled dialogue anyway. So just recently after, they announced another new DLC. This one is, the previous one was called The Descent, by the way. This new one is called The Trespasser. And this one takes place, canonically, 2 years after the end of the game. The other game, the first 2 DLCs can happen at any time, either before or after, and they have different dialogue options that'll indicate as such. Okay. This one is specifically, the game ended. 2 years later, here's what the Inquisition is up to. And it looks good. It looks like it's going to be very story-heavy again.
Yeah, I love DLCs that expand the story.
My question,
like, what's going on now,
is what are they going to do with this DLC? Are they going to do this the kooky fun way and go like Mass Effect Citadel? Or are they going to do something a bit more serious like, what was the final DLC for Mass Effect 2? You went and you tried to, I don't know, you had to blow up a planet or something.
I don't even remember.
So you mean like they're going to go a more serious route, like Last of Us Left Behind?
Yeah, there was, like, because they've done both, and they've done both very well. Like, you know, the serious DLCs that wrap up in after the end scenario are good. But so the ones where, well, Citadel wasn't after the end, but it was close to the end, and it was fun. And, like, what is the level of fan serviciness they're going to do here versus how much of it's going to be, this is serious? Because, well, the trailer was pretty serious, but it was also... It also had the campiness that they're good at doing here and there.
Okay. So in my standard news of the fighting game genre, I have some breaking news for the fighting game and the fighting game aficionados like myself out there.
Is it new characters?
It is not Street Fighter related, but it is new characters. Well, I mean, I could talk about Armika from Alpha, who will be joining us in Street Fighter V.
That's all you're going to
She's
talk
a
about
wrestler.
her.
But that is the only... I don't really care about Armika too much, personally. She has a cool rainbow effect, though, in this game, which is pretty interesting. Like, it's like...
Hi!
It's interesting,
Is that what,
to say the
is
least.
That the character for it?
Nah, she's a female, so it's her...
No, it's more like, hey, sup.
Hey, sup.
Sup. Sup.
But in exciting fighting game news, we have finally confirmed Combat Pack 2 for Mortal Kombat. 4 more fighters shall be entering the arena starting in 2016. No one has been announced as far as who, but everyone has confirmed that it is true. We'll be getting 4 new characters, a crap ton of more costumes, 90% of them will probably be for Scorpion, and a new stage, which I'm really excited about on the side of we're getting more characters. I'm not excited because, god damn it, by the time this game is all said and done, if you buy everything before the Game of the Year edition, which is inevitable, comes out, you would have spent about $120. So it's nowhere near as bad as Evolve, but it's pushing close.
Yeah,
Is there no season pass?
The combat pack is the season pass for that time frame. So the combat
So
pack
there's more
was
than one season
$15 versus $20 for buying everything separate.
Just be glad they did away with the online passes. You remember that couple of years?
Yes.
God, dude.
Yes.
Online
The
passes.
online passes never bothered me. So I'm gonna be the only person, right? And this is my thought on the online pass. Okay.
Let's go.
I was buying the game for my enjoyment alongside supporting the people who developed the game. Online passes have no effect on me if you buy the game new. They don't affect anyone who buys the game new. The only people who are affected by online passes are not giving their money to the developer in the first place.
Or you work at GameStop and people are mad at you because it requires pay extra for an online pass.
Well, yeah, but again, those are the people who are not giving their money to the developer anyway. So I'm on the side of online passes personally. Like I was for online passes.
I was on the side of I didn't really care except when I had to come into work and people were mad at me because apparently it was my fault that there was online passes for a game.
Right. Yeah, so as a GameStop employee back in those days, it was kind of painful.
Back in the day.
It was kind of painful. But from a consumer perspective,
Yeah, buying the game.
I think online passes were great. I mean, I absolutely loved them personally because you can't buy a game used and then be like, oh man, this game is great, I can't wait for the next one. They're not gonna get the next one because you didn't fund the fucking first one in the first place. So that's where I stood on online passes. Like, online passes do not affect anyone who is already a customer of the developer. If you're buying the game used, you're not a customer of the developer. You're a customer of the person you bought the used game from. There's my spin on online passes.
That's fair. It's capitalistic. I'm not saying that as a bad thing. I'm saying that as a fact.
It is a fact. It is a fact.
I just don't think it's really necessary for games that have a very temporary multiplayer set anyway. Games where, the server costs aren't going to be that high a year after it's come out. A game where... Because that's what it is. You're paying for server
every
cost.
year, like Madden.
Yeah, it's
Why
when
is
you
that
have to
all-
pay for a server cost for a yearly franchise, it's not that relevant.
I think the server cost does go up after a year, though, because that's when people are not on it as much. So now they're maintaining the server for the few people who are on there.
No, it goes
So
down
the
because
cost-
they have less live servers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
They just shut down servers.
That is very true.
And then when the new game comes up, they turn those servers over to the new game.
Correct.
Yeah, and it goes to the same argument again, where the money that has to be made by these companies is the money that's got to be made release day. The rest, or the release week, and then the rest is
everything else is
just
gravy.
a drop in the bucket.
Yeah.
So by that point in time, when used copies are available, the money to be had by the company has already been made.
They've
Or not
either
made.
already broken even or made a profit on the game. After 2 or 3 weeks, after the first month and a half, when you start seeing a steady stock of used games, the company's not gonna really. 200 games is not gonna affect the company.
That's true,
It's
too.
kind of a moot point 'cause they don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
But
Hashtag return of the online passes. I'm
No.
kidding.
No.
Kidding.
return to the online pass.
You will disregard everything we just said. These are not the tips you are looking for.
Yeah. So my favorite piece of news from the week, and I think you guys will be in agreement with me after I announce it. Favorite piece of news from the week, ladies and gentlemen, starting in the month of October, McDonald's will serve breakfast all day. That is it. I will never drive up to a drive-thru and have to hear the words, "I'm sorry, we don't serve breakfast past 10 o'clock." Again.
I'm sorry, but we don't serve no breakfast no more.
Breakfast is over at 10 o'clock.
People who can't see it,
You can tell from my voice.
smacking his own head.
If you,
they know, they heard the voice and they have the same imagery.
If you've lived with those people, all you need to hear is the I'm sorry, we don't serve breakfast no more. You know the person. Everyone who's dealt with that person knows exactly what I'm talking about once you hear the voice or the
sentence itself. We don't serve breakfast anymore at 10 o'clock. Like, I get it. You
I
stop
thought it was
serving.
11.
It's 10 o'clock.
I swear to God, it was 11.
I know it's 10 o'clock.
Or 10:30 at 11.
Because one of my other major life mentors taught me a big lesson, which is now no longer valid because McDonald's. He taught me that you are not being successful in life if you are not awake and ready for your day by the time McDonald's stops serving breakfast. That's 10 o'clock. Now,
Isn't it 10:30?
You got a free pass.
Now, you are no longer a successful person and ready for your day.
Before McDonald's closes.
Before McDonald's closes at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly. So you can get up before 2 a.m. You're all
not
set.
successful anymore if you are not awake by the time Burger King stops serving breakfast. Get your ass up.
But it's not the whole menu though.
It is the whole menu.
It's not the whole menu.
No?
They said it's not the whole menu.
Oh.
Places in the north will be getting just mostly sausage McMuffin. I'm not sure if the bacon will also be there, but it's making McMuffins.
I thought it was like McGriddles and shit. That's what I'm concerned about.
No, it's going to be limited after the cutoff period. And in the south where biscuits are more popular, it's going to be their biscuit sandwich.
Probably to start.
I like their biscuit sandwich and wanted that to be the item, but no, we have to.
It'll probably be the start to see how it goes.
Here.
To see how it goes, and then they might add more later on.
At the start,
if it booms, they'll add more later on.
Damn it, you guys! I want McDonald's breakfast.
Right? We just gotta stick.
Someone has to think about what to mention it, and I want it.
Yep.
I gotta think about what to eat before we go to your house.
Yo, a bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle at any time of the day is popping, dog. Like, woo! I cannot wait. Like, if they tell me, if I show up there at 10:30, because I'm still gonna live by the same rule, I'll be up before they're done serving breakfast. If I show up there at 10:30 and I get that, I'm sorry. We start serving McGriddles at 10 o'clock. Somebody's getting punched in the mouth.
You're gonna pull like that lady in the drive-thru. This is not my final form. I want my fucking McNugget.
Yeah, exactly. That's how I'm gonna be.
Go Super Saiyan on your ass.
This is not my final form. I want my McGriddle.
This just breaks the glass. Oh my god.
That will be me.
Oh.
That will be. I will be making phone calls. It will be emails.
Call it management.
I will be sending
the number of
I will be sending angry letters. Okay, handwritten angry letters on 5-star notebook paper.
You will single-handedly change the breakfast menu at our local McDonald's.
Yep, the one McDonald's you will be able to get a McGriddle at any time of the day that you choose is going to be 5 blocks away from my house.
Well, those of you who want to murder VEGA, I know where he lives.
Find that McDonald's that's serving McGriddles at 5 p.m.
and
walk
ask
5
about
blocks.
the guy who always
there every day at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
That actually reminds me of older fast food news. I remember Taco Bell was experimenting with delivery. Did anything ever come of that?
They still deliver in New York. So McDonald's, Burger King, and Taco Bell and other fast food restaurants do deliver in New York still, which is pretty cool. I thought you were going to go the direction of when they first announced they were going to serve breakfast, and we all got excited because we thought it was going to taste good.
It did taste good. Hold the phone.
I'm sorry.
Are you so...
I'm not a fan of Taco Bell.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chet is of the fair-skinned variety, so anything for him that's not home-cooked usually tastes good.
Damn.
Cold-blooded.
Have you guys seen that? Have you guys seen the meme that's like the black guy with his son, and his son's crying facing the other direction, and the dad has his hand on his shoulder,
Yep.
and he's like, look Antoine,
I
know you love Sarah. I know you think you love
Becky.
Sarah,
Yep.
but are you ready for a life of unseasoned rice, unseasoned chicken and asparagus?
But then there's the meme countering that where it goes, all right, where it's a group of white girls huddled together like volleyball shorts, and they go, all right, girls, we got the fat butts and the big titties. Now all we got to learn is how to fry chicken, and we'll be all set.
Yeah. It's so terrible, man. So terrible.
Hashtag triggered.
I don't like Taco Bell because I am a Latino, and if I want bad Spanish food, I would just go to my aunt's house.
I know Latino.
Fuck out of here. I'm a Latino, and I love me some Taco Bell.
Oh,
You sent me the-
I have
you
an
sent
issue
me-
with buying Spanish food.
You
Listen,
said
I've gone to Chipotle.
Yo, are you nuts? I love buying Spanish
No,
food.
I-
Anytime I can get the food that I would cook in my house and I don't have to cook,
But it's
I'm
not
with
the
it.
same, though. It's not even like half as good though.
I gotta take you to some places that are gonna change your life.
I'm sorry. I need to feed you my mom's cooking.
I'm gonna change your outlook.
I need
on
to
life.
feed you my mom's cooking. Who taught me how to cook?
You're not gonna feed me your mom's cooking because your mom be making shit. She makes everything with bacon, and I'm gonna learn.
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't. She
I'm
made
not
that one
eating that
dish
shit.
that one time with bacon, and you would make the sacrifice for that.
I'm not eating that.
Wally
shit.
made the sacrifice and felt like me for a day.
Yeah, there's a
He
difference.
would make the sacrifice.
Wally made the sacrifice and realized that his heart was beating in a strange way while he was still eating. For me, my heart's gonna stop beating in a fast way while I'm still eating.
Don't worry, I'll
want to-
defibrillate you with a punch. You're all set. You're all
How
good.
you feeling? That shit was good.
That shit was good, exactly. Now, see, I have just gone to Chipotle for the first time a month ago.
Oh, Chipotle's amazing.
I don't buy Spanish food. Like,
I wouldn't call Chipotle Spanish.
that's why I went.
Chipotle's not Spanish.
I don't
It's
buy.
Tex-Mex, right?
No, it's
Tex-Mex.
it's New Mex.
Whatever.
I just don't buy Spanish
New
food.
Mex.
You want to know what was a really disappointing breakfast, even worse than Taco Bell? Subway. Do you even remember that
Oh
Subway
my
service
god, they
breakfast?
still
no.
serve breakfast.
That's
And
just
it's still
bad.
bad.
That's just
No, no,
bad.
It's
just
still
no one knows
it's
or
still
cares.
undelicious.
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 It is undelicious.
Look on Urban Dictionary.
Hashtag undelicious.
We will be
ladies
credited.
and gentlemen.
Wait, someone can someone put that on Urban Dictionary and then
We first
tweet
heard
us?
we first
Tweet
heard the
VEGA.
term undelicious on the Super Friends
Did we just
podcast.
agree on something? I think we have to find another breakfast we can disagree on.
Oh God!
They're making a Sonic burger here in RI.
I heard about that. I'm so excited. Is there a White Castle nearby? Because they're not.
There's
No.
not. The closest
No.
White
We can make
Castle.
a
No
White
In and
Castle.
Outs, no White Castle, but we are getting Sonic. And since I was up north in Peabody, to bring it full circle,
Peabody.
I did get a chance to try Sonic recently. It's fantastic. I can't wait for it.
All
They
right.
have like a million drinks. They serve breakfast all day. The breakfast is not shit. And they have tater tots. Tater tots!
I love me some taters.
And you can put cheese on them.
You can't beat somewhere that got tater tots, man.
I
I'll tell you
love
that
me
much.
some taters.
And it can get a corn dog for like $1.50.
Oh my lord.
Man,
Corn
I saw the
dogs.
commercial for the little doggies and they look delicious.
I was just gonna ask you if it was like the Buffalo Wild Wings amazing, but you described better than that. Because Buffalo Wild Wings, we were all like, "Oh my god, we're getting a Buffalo Wild Wings finally! It's gonna be so amazing."
You were
It is
disappointed by
not.
that?
I was
No,
extremely
I
disappointed
love
by Buffalo.
Buffalo. I get
The
it once
only-
a week.
The only thing that I like from Buffalo Wild Wings, and I live next to a Buffalo Wild Wings, add that to your list of ways to find me.
You get one more and we'll triangulate your location.
Gonna triangulate this shit. So, but the only thing that I liked from Buffalo Wild Wings was the nacho burger. I did not enjoy the wings very much.
Which
the only wing
wings did you
sauce I
have?
enjoyed
Which
were
ones
the.
did you have?
I tried all of them.
Every
because-
single flavor?
Yeah, the only flavor I really enjoyed was the mango salsa. But that's because I'm
Wait,
Spanish.
the mango habanero?
This stereotypical
You like mango
Spanish
no
right
matter
there.
what
We
it's
love
on.
mango.
Shit, yeah, you,
That freaking murdered me.
that shit was
habanero.
amazing.
Oh my god.
I mean, I didn't enjoy the spice, but the
that
delicious
was
sweet
that was
before
hotter
and
than their
after.
hottest one. It was hotter
good.
than their hottest
It was
one.
very spicy though. It
It was
was.
very spicy.
It's
was.
very spicy.
The barbecue was decent. The
I
buffalo
love
was
them.
decent. I'm also cursed with the fact that there's a nice pool place that serves incredible wings near my house.
I am not
Wait, what are
blessed
you
with
talking
that.
about?
The pool place that we
Oh,
go play pool. Yeah, Bose.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no. That kind of seals the deal. I'm never going to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, Buffalo. I mean, so like I said, the nacho burger was stellar, and maybe I'm just being too hard on Buffalo Wild Wings for their wings, but they were good. They were good wings.
No, you
They
can
just
be
weren't
hard on a
great
place
wings.
that has wings in the title, and that's what they associate. You can be hard on the wings.
Boneyard has better wings. Is that what it's called? The Boneyard? You didn't like
maybe?
that? I don't know. I think that's what it's called.
I don't know.
I might have made that up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you make a restaurant called the Boneyard, just let me know.
There's a
I will be
Bonefish
there.
Grill, but
I will
that's
support
fish.
you.
Speaking of food, I went to Five Guys this past other day.
The gods, the hamburger
I
gods.
didn't know there was a
gave us
Five Guys
Five
near
Guys.
No.
on Bald Hill Road.
No.
Like off Bald Hill Road. I
No.
didn't know there was a Five Guys over
No.
Yes.
there. Why?
No.
Why?
Johnny Rockets is better than Five Guys. Come at me.
But like
No.
twice as expensive.
No!
I need okay.
No.
I need to have Johnny Rockets because I want to seriously compare the two.
No!
I want to seriously compare the two. Yeah, but
this episode is over.
no, but
Actually, I think it is.
We fucking cut the tape.
Wait,
We're not even
wait.
gonna close this shit out.
but no,
Cut.
no. But Johnny Rockets
I'm about to
I
get
spent
beat.
Johnny Rockets I spent $40, while Five Guys I spent $12.
I don't see a price difference between Johnny Rocket and Five
Pretty
Guys,
sure
personally.
the same.
According to
Right.
what I was gonna get, Johnny Rockets would have been $22 with tax.
What the hell did you order?
What'd you order?
Big cheeseburger, large fries, large drink.
Oh my lord.
If I go to
Oh.
Yeah,
Five
but
Guys,
the
it's like
large-
$12.
The only thing I ordered...
The large fries at Five Guys, have you not? They take their large drink cup and then they pour it in your bag, and then they fill the large drink cup again,
and then just put it in your
and then
bag.
put it in your bag. Like that's what they do.
It's crazy. I don't know how we ended up talking so much about food, but it is that time of day where we start closing up. But I am going to close out with the final statement of Johnny Rocket milkshakes. Now those are magical.
All right.
Those
All
change your life. If you have a Johnny Rockets milkshake on a bad day, and everything looks like a unicorn.
Let me tell you something about my best friend.
Ladies and
You
gentlemen,
guys got 3 songs this episode. You didn't get an opening one, but you got 3 different songs.
you have been listening to the Sooper Friends Podcast, a gaming podcast.
But we talk about only
swear.
facts. We
We
swear.
promise it's about video games.
Last week we got deep. We got really
Oh
deep
my God.
last
I
week.
fixed that though.
Okay.
I fixed last week.
We fixed
Last week
it.
was a 2-hour episode that I had to edit through. Okay,
To
It
how
was
much?
Fucking awful.
To how much?
I brought it down to 126, and then I quit. I was like, this is what people are getting. I'm gonna call it a
You
special
need to show
edition.
him the raw.
And that is it.
Because that was, we went a little
Jeez,
crazy.
Raw was awesome.
Vega discovered something about me that apparently he didn't know. And I thought I share this with all my friends. But I am very twisted.
Yeah, it's dark.
And
We're not
very
gonna go there
vengeful.
again.
Wait,
I will talk about it after.
Okay.
And I'll show you why.
So as we come to a close, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to learn more about Chet's random disappearance and his seemingly incredible vacation, and his girlfriend did make it back, so no more witch hunts going on in Salem. For anybody who's wondering, where can they find out about it?
Oh my god.
so you can find me in a lot of places. You can find my WordPress. Hey, it's Chet. I recently posted an article late to the party. Titanfall. I finally got through playing Titanfall. I recommend it for new players.
Every time he talks about Titanfall, I think Attack on Titan. And I'm like, Attack on Titan game. When did I miss that?
You can also
Yeah.
see my Twitter, hey_it's_Chet. All of the things I tweet get reposted to my Facebook page, also hey it's Chet. Additionally, on House Dash
It's okay, just keep going. Just keep going.
on house-mixes.com, you can also find my DJ mixes, hashtag not a real DJ. I recently released my Jet Set Radio tribute mix, and it is 5 hours long.
Excellent. Stellar.
It is 5 hours long.
Stellar. Bonjour, L. Where can we learn more about you?
Monsieur.
Monsieur.
I have a Twitter that I actually haven't posted on in weeks. Because I still don't know how to use Twitter, and I bought a PS4 in Destiny, so
Yes.
I'm kind of gonna be
What is
gone.
what is your PSN?
I don't know if I want to give that out.
What is
though.
your PSN? You want to?
I don't know if I want to give that out.
You get
though.
to play with so many random strangers.
I know.
Do you have the Twitter on your phone?
I do.
Is it logged in?
Maybe.
Alright. Pick up your phone, we're gonna do a Twitter right now.
We're gonna do
Oh,
a Twitter
God, no.
right
Okay,
now.
get on.
Okay,
Get on,
so-
turn your
so-
phone on.
so my-
we're going to do a semi-live.
I have to
tweet.
log
Do you
in.
need help picking it up? I know your phone's kind of heavy.
Oh, shout outs to Zero Lemon for the 10,000 milliamp hour Galaxy Note 4 extended battery case.
While
This
Al shamelessly plugs that terrible looking case.
But it is amazing. I haven't charged my phone in 2.5
Aesthetics
days.
is what matters, okay?
Okay,
It doesn't look that bad. It looks like an OtterBox.
No, it looks like a part of a house.
It's just because my phone is big. I have a Note 4. I'm sorry.
Well,
Anyway.
El tries to remember how to do a tweet. We're gonna
Wait,
ask Vega.
I have to scroll to the top.
He's working towards tweeting about the end of the episode.
Vega, where can we find you?
So you can learn more about me at It's Super Vega. I started tweeting again, and I think it's been pretty interesting. It's been pretty fun, and I'd love to get some more responses from people. You can also learn more about me on my website, supervega.com, which is super exciting. And I've been posting, I've been doing a much better job about writing posts and writing blogs and adding cool stuff into it. So I think it's more entertaining, but you can totally reach out to me and let me know if it's boring as hell or if you're having a good time. I deleted Instagram from my phone, the app, but I did not delete my profile. And I don't plan to. I do plan to get back into it. I just have to wait till the right time. But if you want to start following now, it's at It's Super Vega on Instagram. And yeah, that's everything. Continue supporting players. I really appreciate the support I've gotten so far. You guys are awesome. Hopefully, we can get out there and jam out for the Video Game Awards, hosted and sponsored by Mr. Jeff Keeley.
I have my twat. Just Friends recording episode 8. Hashtag Super Friends.
There you
Hashtag
go.
Super
Alright.
Vega. Hashtag hey _it's _chet. Hashtag I don't know how to twatter.
We're gonna teach him how to do this right.
Yeah, you're supposed to. You were supposed to @sign.
I don't know how to twatter.
Bruh.
We will fix this, and you guys can help.
And you guys will see it.
For the time being, Super Friends,
Away!
But Chet, we'll come back next week.